Clean this area. You see it's dirty through here. This is the gasket for the upper timing case cover that ends up getting old and dried out, and then it starts to leak through here somehow because it's wore out, and it ends up dripping around the engine here, down through here, causing, of course, an oil leak. So to take it apart, it's not that hard. You remove the distributor cap, you move the rotor, and you remove the inner piece of the rotor, which is connected, and it exposes the timing chain here, which is connected to the overhead camshaft, which is through the center here. And also, these are your intake and exhaust valves. Intake this side, obviously, to your intake manifold, and your exhaust side to your exhaust manifold. This is called an interference engine. Has the timing chain, which means if this timing chain busts, the piston will slap these valves and just be a screwed up mess that you'll have to replace probably the head out of it, as opposed to a non-interference engine, which means the timing belt, which is the rubber ones, breaks. And piston does not interfere with the valve, so it won't harm it. So I think this is one of the reasons why this makes this a high performance engine, and you have to run high test fuel for the higher compression ratios, because it's that close to the top of the engine, maybe even that close. So I mean, if that timing chain lets go, that piston's going to hit the valves. So you can see is one valve intake, one valve exhaust. I took it apart last night, so I covered this up just because I didn't want dust on it. It's pretty straightforward. This is your rocker assembly. So you have 4 bolts. They're torqued to 21 Newton meters. The front upper timing case cover is torqued to 21 Newton meters. This is the problem I have with the Mercedes. It's hard to find in manuals. I have one that comes out of England, and they use Newton meters. They don't use foot pounds. And the Newton meters get converted into either inch pounds, or you can convert them to foot pounds. But anyhow, that's what this is, 21 Newton meters. And the front upper timing case cover is going to be 21 Newton meters. I'm not here showing you an disassembly video. I'm just showing you nomenclature and reference points for repairs. There's plenty of videos and Google stuff that you can find if you want a complete description of a breakdown, or put together, of course, from the opposite procedure, breaking down. But I'm just showing you highlights of practicality. I'm assuming you're a mechanic, you're doing mechanical stuff, so I'm not going to waste your time with each little minute detail of everything. So here's the rotor button, obviously, with the 3 bolts, and this is the piece that attaches to into the cam right here. So this has to come off along with the plastic cover. It's a T30 Torx bit that you need to remove this bolt right here. As you can see, that's the Torx bit. It's a T30. I picked this up at Ace Hardware, so it's a Milwaukee T30 Torx bit. I got it at Ace Hardware. It's not torqued down very hard. It came, matter of fact, when I got it loose, it came so clean that I thought for a minute I actually stripped this bolt head, because it came that quick when it let go. So it's not under a lot of torque. And then you have to watch watch for this stuff, because this end here, when I was pulling it off, is part of the breather recirculation for the pressure blow-by for gases. Because it's so dry rotted of old age, it's split. I'm going to have to replace it, but I think because it's a long tube, I can put it on there for now. And I might just put a little gasket sealer, what they call blue glue, around it for right now to hold it together so it doesn't leak excessively until I can replace it. It's got a part number on it. Where's it at? Right here. So that's the part number. And you have 8 bolts here, 10mm for your valve cover. And this is the front timing cover, front upper timing cover. The one bolt has to stay on because when you add it on here, there's this water jacket here that goes to the water pump. Looks like it goes for the heater into the firewall, just right behind the dipstick there. You can see right there. But in order not to remove your water system, obviously, this bolt has to stay in. You just unscrew it, loosen it, and then you can slide it out over. You have 2 alignment pins that this will press down into on the back here. So that's the back of it. Faces the timing chain. Here's the bottom of it, where the mates to the top of the gasket that mounts to the groove in the bottom of this gasket down here. And I'm going to clean this stuff up and then put it back together. I have a new seal for here that I purchased through Auto House. I use Auto House FCP Euro. Sometimes I use Parts Geek, very seldom, because I've had problems with my Toyota buying their parts. They're inferior with cheap metal. So you get what you pay for, and I've learned my lesson. So I try to use more reputable aftermarket parts dealers. So once I clean this stuff up, tap out this gasket, put the new gasket I have here. So this here is the front cam seal for this. It's a Victor Rents I got from Auto House. And then I bought this from Auto House too, I believe. This here is the upper timing case cover gasket that goes on there. There's your part number. And here's, of course, what it looks like, because it matches what that looks like down there. So I'm going to clean this stuff up and put it back together and then run it. But this is my complete video. I made a short showing you this. 15 seconds or less, obviously. And this is the protracted version of the same video for the same project. But I just wanted to explain and show you the parts better. Because no one ever sits here and gives you the camera time, man. Be jumping around and shit, and I hate that. So, since I clean all these parts up with this old stuff, because remember, when you put it back together clean, you can see better what's going on, and that's where I stand on the issue of everything I work on. I clean it, take it apart, clean it, put it back together clean, lubricated, and then from there I go on.